Welcome to the channel, guys. In this video I'm going to tell you all about my C3 Corvette Pace car, which I've now owned for over 4 years. I bought this car back during March 2021, which was during COVID. I actually bought this car without going to look at it. This was literally taking great trust, but I did buy it from the Corvette Club UK via the forums from a gentleman called Norman, who took loads of great photos and did videos of the car. So that was obviously very reassuring. And then I had the car delivered, and it's now more than 4 years. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it's been like owning it these 4 years and the running cost, etc., etc. Because something that's actually very surprising about these cars is they are amazingly cheap to own and run, apart from, I guess, the fuel cost. But as it's not the kind of thing I daily drive, it's definitely a dry weekend only car. It's been very easy to own. It's also won several awards as well at shows it's gone to. So you can see there, it has won the Biddle Classic Car Show. It actually won that twice, but I only have the certificate for 2024 to hand. I think it also won it in 2022. And there's the edition of the car. This is number 1117 of the 6,502 made. Every dealership in America got one of these cars to display, as obviously it was the Indy 500 Pace car. So this is not that original genuine Indy 500 Pace car, but then they made 600 and 502 replicas. I've also got the program from the 1978 NASCAR race, where the car has a double spread. And then all talking about the car, I was very lucky to find that actually at a classic car show, that program there. Car also won one of the Corvette Club UK awards as well, which is down here at the front of the car. Judge's Choice C3. So obviously C3s ran from 1973 to 1982, as can be seen there. Obviously the great advantage of Corvettes, pretty much of all eras, is that you can remove the T-tops, thus giving you a convertible. And there we have it. Let's just show you the interior. The interior is incredibly basic on these cars, because it is nearly 50 years old, but you'll be surprised to know the quartz clock is still actually working, and all of the gauges actually work, so everything's working there. You see there's some temperature in the engine. I've let the engine run a bit. Even the 8-track is still working as well. This car actually, it's never let me down in my 4 years of ownership. I have done some work on the car, mainly upgrades actually. The car has been extremely reliable, but those upgrades, well, first of all, let's just take you through the basic running costs. So the car cost £200 a year to insure under a specialist classic policy. So the car's insured for a value of 20,000 UK pounds. So God forbid anything happened to it, as it's an agreed valuation, I get the full payout. It costs nothing to tax and MOT. I do typically MOT it every 2 years, just to have a good safety check. But obviously, I'm always on this car and underneath it, so it's always got eyes on, you know, the brakes, the brake lines, always on. But just for peace of mind, a second set of eyes, it does get a tax and MOT every so often, but tax is free. And of course, when I do decide to have it MOT'd, it's £50. And then really it's about upgrades. When I got this car, I was shocked at actually how firm it rode. It was quite the bone rattler, which you don't expect for an American car. You expect them to be all cushy and plushy and basically wallow down the road, but no, this thing was rock hard, easily the firmest of all the cars that I've ever owned. And upon doing a bit more research, it turns out this is actually a Gymkhana edition of the 1978 Pace car. And what the Gymkhana got you was a rear anti-roll bar, which this car still has and is present, along, I believe, with even firmer dampers and heavy duty front coil springs. And obviously it had the iron leaf spring in the rear, which they all had. So one of my first modifications was to fit Bilstein dampers all around, and changing out the stock dampers, which were some like AC Dalco GM units, to the Bilsteins, had an instant dramatic improvement in ride quality with no sacrifice to the handling. The car still handled amazing. This is actually a shockingly good handling car. You would not expect it for an old American classic car, but in the UK we have our national speed limit, which is on a country road 60 mile an hour, and this car will easily go down said road, including the twisting bits, at 60 mile an hour. It's quite a good handling car. It's also quite fun on roundabouts. You can just throw it in. The tyres will squeal for dear mercy, but The car has quite amazing road holding. Of course, I wouldn't attempt to do it in the wet, but this car doesn't come out in the wet unless I get caught out, and then you just take it very easy. So one of the other things I upgraded was that composite leaf spring. Well, iron leaf spring. I upgraded it to a composite unit. Oh, the Bilsteins were about £300, by the way, and that was delivered to the UK as well from Rock Auto. Great place if you need any parts for your Corvette. Shipping over. And then of course you've got Gavin Rowe, who generally imports these cars and can get parts as well, and Corvette Kingdom in the UK, but I've always found the latter quite expensive. Then so yeah, I took out the iron leaf spring and put the composite leaf spring in the back, and again that was a similar case, because obviously we were dropping a lot of weight out of the car by doing this. I think the iron leaf spring, it was heavy. It was probably like 15 to 20 kilos, whereas the composite unit that went in was like 3 to 5 kilos, so a quarter of the weight. And it was a similar story again. The car rode so much better with the composite leaf spring in the rear, and there was again no negatives to the way the car handled, in that it was all improvements. But what we did discover, another mod we made to this car, because obviously the AC no longer worked in the car, and here in the UK it would be an absolute mission and hugely expensive to get that air conditioning working again. So even though we still have that part of the unit at the top there, we actually removed all of the AC hardware, which probably dropped about 40 to 50 kilos out of the car, because these old AC units back in the day were really heavy. So yeah, we dropped the 40 to 50 kilos in the car, and the downside to that was that the front end was sitting really high up, that the arch gap was embarrassingly big. You could probably fit a small child between the tyre and the arch. So then I went to a local garage who specialises in classic cars, because I wanted to ask about, because I didn't really know what front springs to get for the car, but because it had heavy duty front springs, which are like truck springs and absolutely massive, normally I would never, ever, ever condone chopping a coil off a spring. It's generally unsafe and is certainly not recommended. But I looked at the original front springs and I thought, wow, there's a lot of coils there. Are we really going to be causing any harm if we just lob one off? So I took it to my local garage. As I say, he's a very good mechanic, and I said, what's your opinion if we lob a coil off these springs? He's like, no problem at all. You're not going to have any issues. Wouldn't be in any fear of doing it. So we had that done, and as you can see now, the car has a beautiful ride height. The stance is perfect, and again, there was no negative to the ride quality. The ride quality remained the same, but the handling was definitely slightly better on the front end. The turning was that bit nicer, that bit more crisper. And he did that for me. I think he charged me like £60. It was a very easy job for him to do. One of the other things we had done, I will start the car up later in the video and do your walk around with it running. Car's pretty much got a straight through exhaust now, but there are mufflers still on the rear, just so it's not too unruly. We've also got some exhaust wrap on those rear ones there. The reason we did that, because we're now on a composite leaf spring, as you can see if you zoom in on the video. Obviously, with them being composite, they don't like heat. So obviously they didn't do this from the factory, but we've wrapped the exhaust in that part of the setup with heat wrap. So just to stop the exhaust giving off heat at that point, just to protect the composite rear leaf spring. So hopefully we won't have any heat issues or any risk of it failing. You can probably as well maybe also see, you might be able to see the yellow Bilsteins as well back there. Obviously a lot of the work on this car I've done myself as well. I fitted the Bilsteins myself, fitted the rear leaf spring myself. When I've looked at the car, there was an oil leak, both from the engine. The engine leak was literally from the top of the rocker covers. So I managed to fix that myself. That was dead easy to do. They come off absolutely so easy. Serviced the car myself as well, because oil change on this is extremely easy. But the actual main leak was the power steering fluid. So I went through the power steering system, and as I changed one part that was leaking, that fixed it, and then obviously the leak went to the next weakest part in the system. So I've obviously, the whole power steering system and basically steering system on this car is brand new now. And lo and behold, we now have no leaks from this car. This is actually a Corvette that doesn't leak anything on the ground, which is a rare thing with a C3. But yeah, it doesn't leak. The exhaust, by the way, was £500. The composite leaf spring was £500. To fix the steering leaks, can't remember exactly, but we're talking about £300 to £500. I service it every year myself, which is predominantly an oil change and filter, or I get the local garage to do it, and that can be anywhere between £100 to £300. The last time it went in, one of the door locks stopped working. The front headlights are started to fill with water. They're starting to look like fish bowls, so put all new lights in the car, had the local garage do the locks, the lights, and that was about £300. So all in all, the total cost of since owning this car, I've probably put, let's just say £3,000 into the car. So it's less than £1,000 a year in keeping the car running and healthy, and lots of upgrades. As I say, in the past year, we've spent like, I've spent like £200 on this car. So really very little. And as I say, it is, as you can see, it's won some awards as well. I don't know if we did this earlier in the video, but yeah, we got an award there. It's the Judge's Choice C3 of the Corvette Club UK. And as I say, it is a pace car. So here in the back, got run the Biddulph Classic Car Show. I actually won that twice, but can't find my certificate. It's number 1,117 of the 6,502 made. There was one delivered to every GM dealership in the USA. And there's the program from the NASCAR race at the time. And I'll just take you to the other side. And as I say, everything actually still works in the car, bar the cruise control. But I wouldn't use that anyway. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to stop the video here, and then you'll rejoin me with the car running, and you'll get to hear what this car sounds like at idle. So as promised, you rejoin me now with the car running. I will disconnect my mic at the end of the video, just to show you a video of the car running without a mic. So it'll just be my phone picking up the audio, and that should pick up the exhaust of the car much better, because obviously I have a mic and it's more towards me talking. So we got the bonnet down now. Just thought I'd turn the lights on as well for you guys, so you can see that it's got all new lights in there now. It's got the full beams on, so all four of them are lit up. Pretty cool. The headlights operate from a vacuum system. We've also got some little side lights down there, which are twinners indicators. But yeah, in 4 years, I mean, the car's never let us down. So it's had those mostly upgrades made, and just patching a couple of minor oil leaks. It has been a very reliable car. And there are some, cosmetically, I wouldn't class this as a show car. This is more of an honest, own it and enjoy it car. The paint and the bodywork is in fabulous condition, but there is some very minor blistering on the bonnet. Sometimes if you catch it in certain lights, you can see some very slight bubbling effect. That's kind of one of the negatives of a fiberglass car, is that obviously those areas on the paint. So always go over the paint. Another area, if you're thinking of buying a C3, obviously they're fiberglass, but they do rust. And to check that there's no rust on a C3, you ideally want to be pulling all of this up, this carpet here, and just looking down at the inspection of the bird cage there, and also back here if you can, and of course down in the bonnet lines as well, just where the cage runs. You're making sure there's no rot. Again, like I say, I bought this car unseen, but the owner was very kind and actually took all those parts off the car and then filmed it for me, showing me that obviously there's no rust in those parts of the car. I will just jump in the car, let you see the dials. Let me just turn the lights off. So now I've taken the full beam off, you'll see there will just be two lights illuminated. As I say, we've updated the headlights, so it's got nice white LED. Well, I don't know if they're LED, but they're white lights. They're not that bright, but on full beam, you can drive this car around on full beam at night time. No one will flash you, because compared to a modern car, the lights are still pretty dim, even on full beam. So you can see the lights up there. If I push this switch here, you push it in, as I say, they are a vacuum operated system. There you go, they've gone down. If I pull it up again, my seatbelt is trying to rattle. Right, if I pull the switch back up, There we go. You can hear them go bang bang. It's kind of like just gets on and does it. And down they go. So here we got a dial. So as I say, the 8-track still does work. I will briefly turn this on. Bit of AC/DC, but we'll turn that off because we don't get copyrighted. All the heaters still work. Probably heard those come on. So all of our gauges still work, including our clock. We have a collection of 8 tracks in here. You can see it's a glove box, but there's no room to put anything because it's full of 8 tracks. All the interior illumination still works. Our electric, yes, this car actually does have electric windows. They still work, and I say we got the T-tops off because we took it to work this week. So it's a beautiful thing to drive. It's so relaxing. We'll give it some gentle revs as the car's fully warm. Might have a bit of bout squeal because it does need the bout tightening, but let's see. They are a little bit. But that's an old school V8 for you. They're very basic V8. Stuff like the wipers all still work. It's even the rear heated screen still works in the car. Not that we'd ever use that, as we will never be going out in winter time with this. So I'm going to give you. I'm just going to quickly stop the video here, and then you'll rejoin me without a microphone, so you can actually properly hear this car. So as promised, I've removed my mic now. Excuse if there's wind noise, but this will allow you to hear the car. So I'm going to shut up and do a walk around the car. Back in the day, they didn't need catalyst. Now this one did have them originally, but not anymore. You don't need a cat on a car this old. But it's not that bad. Doesn't make your eyes water. I've experienced some old American big block V8s where you turn them on in your garage and literally within 30 seconds you're crying. That much fuel coming out of them. So again, I'll get in the car, give you a couple of gentle revs, because you'll be able to hear it better without a microphone on. Say you join me back in the car. I'm going to be quiet again, just let you listen to. This is the kind of soundtrack you get when you're driving along. We may do a driving video, but there is a driving video on my channel of this car. That was when we first got it. That was when it rode really hard and didn't sound anywhere near as good. So a couple of gentle revs. It just has a beautiful, beautiful, like soft tick over. Very old school V8. So we'll shut the car off now. Probably just cost like £5 on fuel. I'm only joking, it's actually not that bad on fuel. We have done quite a longish road trip in this car, and we think it was averaging about 22 miles to the gallon, but that was cruising at like 60 mile an hour. Obviously, when you're just driving it around normally, it's probably doing about 12 miles to the gallon. But you don't buy these worrying about fuel economy. And that I never worry about fuel economy, hence the cars that I own. And that. So yeah, that's an update on my 1978 C3 Corvette Pace car, which I've now owned for 4 years and 3 months. Never let me down. Not really cost a lot. Most of the money spent on it has been in upgrades. There's no other plans for the car. No more plans to do any upgrades. Just still continue enjoying it. Bryony loves driving. It's a very easy car to drive as well, the C3. Obviously, this being an automatic, drives like a 1990 old Mercedes. Really, it's extremely easy to drive. Just stick it in drive, and basically stop and go and steer the thing. Obviously, it's a left-hand drive, so. Here in the UK, but again, that's not an issue in a car like this. I mean, it's a long car, but it's actually a very narrow car. So like modern cars have got massive, you know, all these people driving around in the ginormous SUVs that don't know how to judge them. This thing's very narrow, so you literally just hug the hedge or hug the curb. It's no problem at all. Very easy to judge with those. Also, them big arches there makes it a very easy car to judge, very easy car to drive, the C3. So if you're thinking of getting a classic car, the C3 Corvette's actually a great one to get. They're very cheap to buy. I've seen them as low for a C3, as low as like £10,000 in the UK. And again, they're very cheap in the USA as well, because in the USA there's hundreds of thousands of them. Probably pick one up in the US for $5,000. So yeah, get a good one. Pretty cheap to own, especially in the UK. We're not having to pay any tax or MOT. Insurance is very cheap. Get a good one. They're very reliable and they're very easy to drive. And off the line, it's quite funny. I never forget, I had so much fun. A police car pulled up to me once at a set of traffic lights, and he wound his window down and he said, "Do you want a race?" I went, "I'll have a race with you as long as you're not going to pull me for breaking the speed limit." And he was like, "I won't pull you, mate. Let's see who can win." And I did a full-on drag strip racing start, and I absolutely annihilated him. It might only have 250 horsepower, this thing, but it's very quick off the line due to that automatic box. And it was hilarious. At the end of the straight, he put his blues and twos, and I thought, oh, here we go. And he just wound his window down. He's like, "Nice one, mate. That was awesome." And off he went. It's nice when you meet a copper like that. So yeah, that was a great laugh. Me and the missus thought it was hilarious. But yeah, we smoked the Smokey, as to say. Anyone who watched Smokey and the Bandit will know what I'm referring to. We smoked the Smokies. But yeah, they're great cars. I say, if you want something classic, easy to drive, yeah, the C3 is definitely great, especially being an auto as well. I'm going to wrap this video up there. As always, thank you for watching. Do please like and subscribe, and if you're subscribing to the channel, remember to hit the bell icon. I do try to drop a video every Sunday at 5 PM. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.